If you are trying to get leaner for summer, you are struggling for what to eat, and you just can't stay consistent with your diet, then you need to look at what you're having for breakfast. So in this video, I'm going to show you exactly what I eat over the next 5 days for breakfast, how it helps me to stay full, how it helps me to stay on track with my diet, and also how it helps me to get leaner for this summer. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am back with a very much requested video. You guys absolutely love my what I eat in a week videos, and breakfast, as you know, is my favorite meal of the day. So I thought we could do another what I eat in a week for breakfast, and I've planned some really yummy recipes. So starting off strong, it is Monday morning. We are hungry. I have not eaten yet because I've been saving myself to film for you guys, so we need to get going. It is currently 10 o'clock and I am craving baked oats. If there is one breakfast I could eat for the rest of my life, it would be baked oats. Today, for my baked oat recipe, I'm gonna be making a raspberry and almond baked oats. But as you know, baked oats can come in so many different flavors. So as long as you've got your base ingredients right, you are more than welcome to mix up the flavors if you wish. So these are the ingredients that you're gonna need. To make my baked oats, we're gonna need some protein powder. So I've got the Vanilla Fit Pro Whey from Women's Best. Love this one. We've got some oats, oat milk. You can use any milk, by the way. Baked almonds to go on top, banana. You can make them without banana, but banana baked oats for me are just elite. Then we've got baking powder and some frozen raspberries. I find frozen fruit comes out a lot better. You are also gonna need a baking dish. I think this is actually a pie dish. I think I got it from Sainsbury's, but anything of this kind of size is good. First of all, we're gonna mash our banana. I'm gonna use around 80 grams. So it's about a whole small banana. Then we're just gonna pour it into a bowl. And now we can add in everything else. So a scoop of protein powder. Keep the scoop out. We're gonna do 2 scoops of oats. That's around 50 to 60 grams, depending on how big your scoop is. Half a teaspoon of baking powder. Then we're actually gonna add in around 80 ml of milk, but it's just until you've got the right consistency. You want the consistency to be like this. I'm gonna pour in my frozen raspberries. It's up to you how many you want to put in, to be honest. If you've got spray oil, then just spray the bottom of the tin. I've just literally put the tiniest amount of oil on this brush, just so it doesn't all stick. Then we're gonna pour in the mixture. Finally, we're gonna add about 5 grams of flaked almonds. And that can be baked in the oven at 180 degrees C for 12 to 15 minutes. Here are my raspberry and almond baked oats. I like my oats to be slightly runny in the middle. I don't like it too dry, but these have come out perfectly. Oh my God, it's just like cake and so delicious. I have just worked out the total macros and calories. So for this whole bowl, there are 434 calories, 34.2 grams of protein, 6.4 fat, and 58.8 grams of carb. So it's a really well-balanced breakfast. It's high protein. It's also got oats in it, which are slow releasing fuel. So it's gonna keep you full for a long time compared to something like cereal. And it tastes like cake. So you're gonna feel satisfied if you have any sweet tooth cravings. Honestly, baked oats, you need to try if you haven't done yet. Anyways, let's give this a go. Oh wow, that is just so good. I can't tell you how good that is. That might be one of the best ones I've made so far. Not dry at all, super gooey, and just tastes really good. Oh, good morning everybody. It is Tuesday. I am so hungry, so hungry. I've actually been running around this morning doing loads of errands and I haven't eaten yet. So I want something quick, but I actually want something filling. And because I work from home, I obviously have the luxury of being able to cook my food as I go. So I appreciate that some of the meals aren't easy for you to do if you're sort of, you know, short for time. However, this breakfast, you can definitely meal prep the night before, the day before, whatever, and you can take it with you to work. So I'd really recommend doing that if you fancy something like this while you're at your desk or something. So this morning, what I'm gonna make is my take on an egg and bacon bagel, but we're gonna jazz it up a little bit. So these are the ingredients that you're gonna need. We're gonna need some good quality eggs. We've got some cheese, this is cheddar cheese, quite a mature one. Chili jam, you could use any kind of like chili chutney if you want. Then we've got bagels and some thick cut bacon. And then I just like to lay a couple of thin slices of cheese over the egg. Oh my God, that egg. Got a bagel, then we're gonna add some chili jam to it. I'm gonna add on the bacon and then the egg. Carefully. Then the egg's got the cheese on it. Finally, we can add on the other bit of bacon. And then, oh, I used the bottom as the top, I can't. I'm gonna have to flip it. It doesn't look right. Oh my goodness. That looks so good. It's a really easy way to jazz up your bagel by adding a different sauce, so the chili jam, then obviously by cooking the cheese on the egg so it's all melted. This is just so good. So for this whole breakfast, which some people might deem unhealthy just because it's like bacon, looks quite fatty, there are 463 calories, 41.4 grams of carb, 17.8 fats and 33 grams of protein. It's really high protein content because A, we've got thick cut bacon, so that's higher in protein. We've got an egg, and then a bagel itself actually has around, I think it's about 8 to 10 grams of protein per bagel. So yeah, it's not actually that bad. It's gonna keep you nice and full. It's a great way to start the day, and it tastes absolutely delicious. It's really important to remember that when you're dieting, trying to lose fat, trying to get leaner, that actually cutting out your favourite foods and going for stuff that you think is healthy is not actually the best thing to do. Because say if I had a bowl of cereal, like a bowl of Kellogg's flakes or whatever, and I had that, I will honestly be hungry an hour later and then I'll just snack on rubbish. Whereas if I have this, I'm full until probably lunchtime or maybe just like mid-morning or something, which is very normal. So by having a slightly bigger breakfast that's higher in protein, it's going to keep me fuller and stop me snacking on stuff that won't fill me up and it isn't very nutritionally beneficial. It is Wednesday morning. We are up quite early and we're gonna make a good breakfast this morning. For some reason, I woke up and I was just craving pancakes. And one of the tastiest pancake recipes I know actually just uses 3 ingredients. So I thought it'd be perfect to share with you guys so that if you're like in a rush, you just want like a nice yummy breakfast, or to be honest, you just wanna have some pancakes, then you too can actually make this. And these are no protein powder pancakes because although I like a protein pancake, sometimes it just doesn't hit the same. It can be a little bit dry. So these are the ingredients that you're gonna need, and let's get cooking breakfast. To make my pancakes, we've got 3 ingredients. We've got 2 eggs, 2 bananas, and around 80 to 100 grams of oats, roughly. Then I'm gonna add in some chocolate chunks. I feel like pancakes are one of those things that people look at and think, I can't eat them whilst I'm dieting, or I can't eat them if I'm trying to be healthy. But at the end of the day, it's a pancake and we need to have a balance of everything, otherwise it's just not healthy. And it's also not gonna be sustainable because if you're not enjoying your diet, you are not gonna stick to it. But I'm just mashing 2 bananas. So the riper they are, the better, because then the pancake will be, I hate this word, but they'll be a lot more moist. Whereas if they're not ripe, they'll be a little bit dry. Once your bananas are mashed, you can crack in 2 eggs. And give that a little whisk. Then we wanna add our oats. I'm gonna go for 80 to 90, but basically the amount of oats depends on how runny the mixture is, because if the banana's quite ripe, it'll be quite runny. This is the consistency we are dealing with. Lastly, you just want to add your chocolate chips. So I'm going to add 20 grams. And we'll mix that in as well. And now it's time to cook our choc chip pancakes. So I like to put a big tablespoon in and then sort of just mold it. I'm gonna top mine with a tablespoon of yogurt, and we're gonna add on some extra banana coins, chocky chips, some squeezy peanut butter. This whole stack of pancakes has 574 calories and 25 grams of protein. That was so easy to make. We've used no protein powder, so they're gonna be super gooey, and oh, I just literally can't wait to eat them. Oh my goodness. My mouth is actually watering. Too good. Cheers. No, because how is it already Thursday? I swear the weeks are going so fast at the moment. I can't even explain. But I've actually got such a busy day today because I am going into London. Not a work busy day, but basically my best friend is getting married soon and we're going on a hen in a couple of weeks' time and she needs some outfits. So I said I would go with her on bridesmaid duties to help her find some white outfits for her hen do. So I need something that is quick, high protein, and is gonna keep me full for a little while because we're probably not gonna be having lunch till a little bit later. Now, when I'm busy on the go, and that's exactly what I need, I tend to reach for protein oats. You guys know that it probably wouldn't be a week of breakfast without my protein oats. They are a staple in my diet, and they're so easy to mix up the flavor with. So if you're looking for something that is simple to make and you won't get bored of it at all because you can always change it, then you've got to try my protein oats. So these are ingredients that you're gonna need. Also, we had our pantry redone yesterday. It still needs to be painted, but I am kind of obsessed. I can't wait for it to all be painted and look good because obviously the walls are a little bit battered at the moment. Oh my goodness, it feels so good to have a pantry. I don't know what it is. To make my protein oats, we're gonna need some oats, of course. I've got some granola here. This is just a low-fat one. It's the Quaker one, I'm pretty sure. Then we've got some frozen raspberries. This peanut butter, because it's so easy to squeeze over oats. If you're looking for something that's a bit more runnier than normal peanut butter, get this one. And then we also have some Women's Best Fit Pro Whey in vanilla. Also, I'm gonna apologize in advance, but I have the shakes so badly this morning. I think because I'm on my period, I don't know, I just always feel, not faint, but a little bit dizzy. Anyways, we're gonna make sure that we have a good filling breakfast. So to measure out my oats, I actually used to weigh them, but then I realized that this scoop here is around 30 grams. So if I have 2 of those, that's 60 grams of oats, and that's enough for me, to be honest. Any more than that, then I find it really filling. Once I've put the oats in the bowl, I'll cover them with water, and then I microwave for 1.5 minutes. So they should look a little bit like that before going in the microwave. Once out the microwave, it should look like this. So now we can add in a scoop of protein. And the way to make the protein powder taste good in oats is to make sure that when you take it out of the microwave, you leave it to cool for at least a minute. Otherwise, the oats are way too hot and they will burn the protein powder. So if your oats taste grainy, you need to let them cool. You are getting ahead of yourself and you're rushing it. Next, I'm gonna add in some frozen raspberries. I might just mix them in slightly. A little bit of granola. And lastly, some peanut butter. And those are my protein oats. So in this whole bowl, there are 464 calories, 35.6 grams of protein, 52 carb, and 11 grams of fat. This is a great way to start the day. This looks so good. Look how creamy that is. Do you know what? Protein oats is something that I will just never go off. I'll always turn to it if I have nothing in the house or if I just need a high protein breakfast that's gonna fill me up. That is so good. Wow, it is so sunny today. It's such a beautiful day, and this is the weather that I want to see in June, so long may it stay. Yesterday, I actually got my nails done, guys. What do you think? They're kind of like an ombre. I went a little bit different. I always get scared about getting different nails because every time I do, I don't like them. I'm not 100% sure, but I think they'll do. They're definitely holiday nails, you know. Anyways, this morning, I'm actually gonna make a breakfast that I was meant to make yesterday for today to be prepped. And you know when you can't get something out of your head? That's this. So I'm still gonna make it, even though I should have done it yesterday. And one of my go-to when I'm in a rush and I wanna just grab my breakfast out the fridge, eat it on the way or when I get to my destination, is overnight oats. Now, overnight oats actually don't have to be overnight. You can actually leave them for around 30 minutes, maybe an hour, and they'll be absolutely fine. So this morning, we're gonna make my apple pie protein overnight oats that aren't actually overnight oats. And I'm excited. These are the ingredients that you're gonna need. First up, you're gonna need a jar. So I got these from Amazon. They're really, really good. They actually came in a pack of 4, I think it was. Then for the ingredients, we're gonna need some milk. So I've got this oat milk, cinnamon, apple, granola, oats, yogurt, and then Women's Best Fit Pro Whey in vanilla. First, we're gonna add 2 scoops of oats to a bowl. 1 scoop of Women's Best vanilla protein. Around 60 grams of yogurt. I just do 2 big tablespoons. These aren't necessary, but you can add in a couple of teaspoons of chia seeds. You don't have to, but I've just remembered, so I'll add them in. It just helps a little bit with sort of absorbing the liquid, but it's not necessary. Some cinnamon, and then we're gonna add in around 80 ml of milk, but it just needs to be the right consistency. Okay, so this is perfect. It's kind of runny, but kind of not. So that's enough liquid for the oats to absorb. Then I'm just gonna chop up an apple, as these are apple pie flavor. My go-to apples are Pink Lady apples. You cannot beat them. And then I'm gonna do half of the apple into really small chunks because I want that to go into the actual mixture and then the rest will sit on top. Then we just want to add the really finely chopped apple to the mixture and give it a mix. Oh, this literally smells like an apple crumble. We're going to take the jar and pour it into the pot. Then what I like to do is just get some more yogurt and add it to the top. The best way to measure the yogurt is to measure the tub before using it and then measure it after using it, and then you know exactly how much you've used. We're then gonna add some apple, and finally about 10 grams of granola. Here you can add some honey, more cinnamon, whatever you want really. And there we go. There are my overnight oats that could be ready in half an hour or the next day or even for the next 4 days. In this whole jar, there are 493 calories and 36 grams of protein. Okay, here goes. This smells incredible. Literally like an apple pie. You can't beat it. And the best thing about overnight oats as well is that you can change up the flavour. So again, you don't have to get bored. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed my week of breakfast and I hope it's given you some inspiration as to how you can eat in order to reach your goals, and also that you can still have fun breakfast whilst dieting or losing fat. You don't have to have plain boring meals. Please make sure that you like this video and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more. I honestly appreciate you guys so much. Remember that I also have an app, Elevate, and it has over 1900 of my recipes, so if you're looking for even more inspiration, I'll put the link down below. But I will see you at the same time next week. Bye guys.